introduction.
I'm not sure what you were doing.
I know, I'm just
Getting ready.
I'm stretching. So, hi everybody, it's Tuesday, and we're back.
Another week.
I know, it seems like forever since I've seen all of you guys. Kate kept Christine and I up in an attic over the weekend. So,
I had you both tied up there or something.
But we're back, so we, anyway, happy Tuesday. So we're thrilled to be with you. We've got another really fun project today. I think you guys are going to enjoy this one.
It was by demand.
Oh, was it really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, see, in that case, yeah.
We listen.
We do listen.
The best of Kimberbell. So we always go back to our old friend Kimberbell when we're in need, huh? Yep. So, do we have any? Oh, we do have announcements. I know we have at least one announcement.
We have a winner.
We have a winner. You want to do that one first?
Sure.
Okay, good. So we are giving away this super cute Sewing with the Minomies tote. And I think whoever wins is going to win. He's going to like this.
Whoever wins is
going to win.
They're gonna win. They're gonna win that.
They're going to win that.
And I think the person who's going to win this is going to love it.
I do too. Exactly. That's right.
And the winner is...
Drum roll.
Woohoo!
Go ahead.
Paulette Swenson.
Yay, Paulette.
Hey, Paulette.
Paulette shares every day, so hopefully she's on there. Congratulations, Paulette.
And we will send this down to Littleton for her.
Yay, that's perfect.
Perfect.
And also, we've had some discussion this morning about our shipping. So we wanted to let you know we have come up finally after 6 months of doing this.
8 months.
8 months of doing
9
this.
months.
It has been about 8 or 9 months, hasn't it? We've come up with a shipping policy. So thank goodness. So, and we apologize.
Better late than never.
Exactly, but we did put something together. So we're gonna sort of make this easy because shipping is really difficult. We've really struggled.
We've been guessing.
We have been guessing. It's been
Sometimes we're under, sometimes we're over, and we just want to make sure that it's fair.
it's nice and uniform. So we're actually gonna do a tiered shipping system from here on out. Okay, so if you order from us and you buy $0, I don't know why you'd order something for $0, but $0 to $25, it'll be $3.50 to ship it to you. Anything from 25 to 100, is that right?
25 to 100.
Yes, 25 to 100 is going to be $7.50 to ship it to you. $100 to $200 is going to be $12.50 to ship it to you. And anything over $200, we're going to do free shipping for you. So, again, over 200 would be free. We got the graduated system under that, so I hope that's good for everybody.
And that's our shipping policy within the United States.
That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. We do have some out of country. Germany doesn't count because they're on an Air Force base, so it costs the same amount to ship to them. So you fall within that. But Canada, we'll do that based on what you order. So that's so anyway. I hope everybody's good with that. Give us some feedback. We sort of investigated what other places are doing and came up with that little system there to again, we just want to try to make it fair for everybody. So, anything else?
I don't believe so.
No? You want to show them your project?
Sure.
Are we ready for that or
Yeah.
not? Okay.
You want me to tell my joke?
Oh yeah, your joke. I forgot
Okay.
about that. I can't wait.
Okay.
It's a blonde joke.
Of course.
It's the blonde joke to end all blonde jokes. Okay. A blonde woman was speeding down the road in her little red sports car and was pulled over by a woman police officer who was also a blonde. The blonde cop asked to see the blonde driver's license. She dug through her purse and was getting progressively more agitated. "What does it look like?" she finally asked the policewoman replied. And the policewoman replied, "It's square," which it's not, but anyways. "It's square and it has a picture and it has your picture on it." The driver finally found a square mirror in her purse, looked at it, and handed it to the police officer. "Here it is," she said. The blonde officer looked at the mirror, then handed it back, saying, "Okay, you can go. I didn't realize you were a cop."
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
That's a
Everybody.
perfect joke.
I
That's
think
good.
so.
Okay, to answer somebody's question, the Nomies design for sewing with my Nomies is from an event that Kimberbell, it's actually our very first event that we did with Kimberbell.
Yeah.
And so this is, unfortunately, it's an event project, so if we in the future do it again, you'll be able to do that. But it is out of that Sewing with My Nomies
And
event.
it's really cute.
Yes.
They
design,
like your
yeah.
shirt, Christine.
I know, isn't that cute? I told her she's very leopardy today. So
Okay, so we have a lot to do today. So let's get started. So for request, you guys have asked for the September Bench Buddy pillows. Okay, so we have the
I thought that said August for a second. I'm saying, wait, you grabbed the wrong pillow.
Oh my gosh.
So this is the square one for September, and this is the rectangle one for September. And so we are doing this one today during our live, and we do have kits available for this one. Okay, so it's going to come with all the fabric that you need for the front and back to completely finish the pillow. Now, we don't have kits available for this one because there's a few items on here that are back ordered through Kimberbell and all the places that we order. So if you guys want kits for the rectangle, you can order them on here. It's just going to be delayed just a little bit. So I just want to give that like a heads up on that one, that it is going to be delayed if you want the rectangle one. But if you'd like the square one, we do have those available for you today, and they are $10.99.
So please let us know if you're wanting the square one or the rectangle.
And
The
then
square ones will be available straight away. The rectangle ones are likely to be about 10 days.
Yes, so we're just waiting on a few of the items to come in from there, which this one is really cute. You do like these, the purple
3D.
leaves are like
Wow, look at
3D,
that,
and they're
yeah.
using the organza. This is actually one of my favorite ones from them. So, but unfortunately, we just don't have the stuff to complete the kit yet, but we will have that completed as soon as we possibly can. Okay? So for today, for the pillow that we're doing, do you want to go over anything or in the middle, or what are your thoughts?
Let's get you started because it's kind of a longer
It
project.
is a longer project. Okay, so this pillow is sewed out, and it's actually sewed. Oh, here's my mask. I was looking for that guy.
It's where you left it.
So this design is actually sewn, if you don't combine these into one hoop, it's actually sewn out in 4 different hoopings. Okay, so your 3 leaves can go into a 4x4 hoop, and you can do them each individually, or you could kind of combine them into a longer hoop and do them in one hooping, and then you do your embroidery, and then we sew it all together. So we are going to start with a leaf. So for the leaves, you have some squares of the background for the leaf, and then you have 4 pieces which actually become your leaf. And this is going to be a lot of like folding and quilting in the hoop. So
Ooh, I see a folding pen and a roller right there,
Yeah.
ladies.
So we are going to use those today. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to hoop cutaway mesh. Well, I just put cutaway mesh in. Anything cutaway, I tend to use the cutaway mesh unless I need a heavy duty. So I have that hooped up. And the first step is going to do sort of a template on your stabilizer. So I have put my brown color of thread on, and I'm actually going to keep that on throughout the whole project. And the only reason I'm doing that is because it does make a difference for you to see it while I'm doing the video, and for myself when I am trying to make sure I'm getting my fabrics lined up correctly. So I'm going to do a thread that is more visible than white. And none of your thread is going to show, so the reason I've chose to just put brown on is because the
stem.
like the vein part of it is
Uh-huh.
going to be in brown, and that'll be the first stitch you actually see. So
Okay.
What is that called on a leaf, by the way?
isn't the veins?
Vein?
It is
Veins?
called veins.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
don't know.
That sounds
Somebody
so-
will know.
So nasty. I know.
Somebody will tell us.
Someone will tell us if we're wrong.
Okay, and then so when you're doing these projects, this type of project in the hoop, Kimberbell does give you like a diagram, so numbered on what fabrics are going to lay down in what order. And then before you start that process, it does show you which one. So it does like kind of gray out that triangle.
Apparently we're correct on the veins.
Oh,
Cool.
wow, that's amazing.
And
We've
your
never been
fabrics
correct
are
on
all
anything.
very overcut for this project. Just the size that Kimberbell orders us to cut, not orders, that sounds like mean, tells us to cut them.
You know what, Charlene? That's a really great question, and we probably should have told you that.
Where is it from?
Yeah. So this is from the Bench Buddy Pillow CD, September through December. It was the same CD that we showed when we did the October pillows, when we did the Halloween pillows. And you all requested for us to do the September one. So it's this one right here. So it's the Bench Buddies, September, October, November, and December. So a total of 8 different projects. And I know we're sneaking in Septembers in Octobers, but we are going to do November and December for you before the end of the year too. Perfect, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So we have our diagram here now, and your first piece of fabric, and it's going to be basically this little tiny triangle here. You want to place your fabric right side up.
That's a big piece of fabric for that little
I
triangle.
know. And when I'm doing that, I am making sure that I have a seam allowance on the outside of my square. Okay. So I'm going to lay that right side up, and I'm going to do my next stitch, which is going to do a diagonal line across. Okay, so now this diagonal line is going to become a cut line. So you are going to take your fabric above the stitch line here, and you are going to trim right up to those stitches. And now that is going to become a placement line for our next piece of fabric, which is going to be our colored leaf fabric. Now this fabric is going to go right side down, and it is going to butt up directly on that line that we just stitched and that we cut. The nice thing about Kimberbell is we don't have to give ourselves a seam allowance, okay? So when I place this fabric down, I place it directly on that cut line or that stitch line, and it is going to automatically come in at 1/4 of an inch and give me that 1/4 inch seam allowance that I need. So I'm going to press start, and you'll notice it comes in and gives me that 1/4 inch, and it'll do my next stitch.
So the CD is $39.99 before the 20% off. So with the 20% off, it comes down to about $32.
Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my fabric folding pen, which for these types of projects in the hoop, this fabric folding pen and roller work really, really well. So you're going to take your fabric folding pen, has your water and your solution in it, and you're going to run it right along that stitch line. Okay, then you're going to take your roller, so you're going to flip your fabric, and I always do a kind of like a nice finger press, and then I'll take my roller and run it right along where that seam is. And now I have a nice flat seam. Okay, so you'll return the hoop to the machine, and it is now going to do our next line, which is going to be towards the top here. And when you have your directions, I don't want to keep going back and forth, but it does show you. So we placed our fabric down, we flipped it. Now we're working with triangle number 3. We just stitched this line. We're gonna trim and kind of just repeat the process throughout this whole design. So now I am going to cut my fabric.
Lorraine likes your nails.
Thank you. They're a little bit different
Charlene
than
likes
what
your
I'm
nails.
normally doing, but they're okay.
I took my granddaughter to get a pedicure and a manicure with me on Sunday because I had her and I already had an appointment. And she is very loud right now. She's got red and blue on her fingernails and orange and purple on her toenails.
Okay, so now this is going to be a placement for our next piece of fabric. So we are going to take a a background piece of fabric. We are going to lay it right side down. We'll turn to the machine and do our tack down stitch.
Julie just said that she used the new hole punch tool on the gift tags and it worked wonderfully.
good.
So that's really good to hear. Thank you for sharing that.
All right. So again, we're going to repeat the process. We're going to take our fabric folding pen, run it right along our stitches there, and flip. Okay, and roll. And then you're just going to continue on. Do the next step, which is going to give us our cut and placement stitch.
Guys need my help yet?
I think we're doing just fine.
And then we're going to cut and place our fabric down. There should be like a song and dance for this method.
Trim, fold, cut, roll.
Yep, press, like, yeah. Okay, so we have that, and our next piece of fabric is going to be our square. So we have...
I'm thinking you could get 2 blocks out of each one of these pieces of fabric.
If you laid them right, yes.
Yeah, you could probably get, I don't know about the other pieces for the rest of the block, but I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
you
would.
could get these little pieced ones, more than one.
I would agree. They cut them
No, this is not a new CD for this year. This was Kimberbell's kind of featured project
Was it
last
last
year.
year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did in
even
2008.
been-
No, 2019. So it was a new product for the whole year for 2019.
And they have them for the whole year. So they have January through April, then April through August, right?
Yep, and then September through December.
So they have them for like the whole year, which was really an easy class.
It was an easy club for us last
Yes,
year.
it was. It was the year before.
No, it was last year.
You're right. It was last year. We're still in 2020.
Unfortunately.
Okay, so we've done our stitch. We're going to trim. Okay, so we're trimming right up to our stitches. And when I trim, I just extend my cut into the fabric. So I have this fabric over here and I just kind of extend that all the way across. Okay, and now we're gonna take our next piece of fabric, which is gonna be another background piece, and we're gonna place it down, right side down.
So Kathy just asked if there is a refill for the folding pen.
There is a refill for the folding pen. So it comes with a bottle of solution in the fabric folding pen packet, and then you can buy the refill by itself. I don't know how much that is though.
I will
Do you?
get a price for you here in just a moment, Kathy, when I can find somebody to help me with that.
And when you do put the solution in your pen, you only put a few drops in your pen, and then you put the rest water. So the refill or the solution does go a long way. Okay, so we've done that piece, and now when I put it back on, it's going to come do a stitch down the center here. Okay.
And I bet you're going to trim all of that now.
Yeah. Okay, so then we're gonna take and trim this part. Just right.
This
up
one
to
is a
our
lot of
stitches.
piecing in the hoop, isn't it?
Yes.
So when you get your pen and you put your solution into it, you just put a couple of drops of the solution in and then you fill the rest with water.
Right, you don't fill the pen with that bottle of solution. Which is what you would think, but you don't. Okay, so I've trimmed here. Now I'm going to use one of my long pieces of leaf material, and I'm gonna lay it right up to those stitches. We're gonna tack it down.
Absolutely. Can you pass me the project over there, Christine, please? So for those of you that just came in, we are doing the September square bench buddy pillow from Kimberbell. So we did the Halloween ones where there was a square and a rectangle. So there is also a square and a rectangle for September. And we're doing the square one today. And I'll show you the rectangle one in just 1 second. When
I didn't bring it over.
it's okay.
Sorry.
I'll go get it after you finished with this.
All right, so now we are doing this side. And we're gonna take a background piece of fabric and lay it down. And when I lay it down to make sure, so here's my,
They can see that.
Okay, so you have your stitch line and your fabric is just a little bit larger than that. So when I put it on here, I just sort of center my fabric so that I know that it's gonna catch on either side. That I have like sort of a seam allowance on both sides. Okay, run our fabric there, fabric pen, flip.
The kits are $10.99 today, ladies and gents.
Okay, and next stitch.
And if you weren't here at the very beginning, you may not have heard this, so I just want to make sure. The square pillow kits we have in stock, those are ready to go. The rectangle pillow kits, we are currently out of one of the items to put in the kits, and Kimberbell is on a back order situation with it. It's one of the glitters. So if you're ordering a rectangle, just know that it could be about 10 days before that is available.
Okay, and then we're gonna take our second longer piece of leaf fabric and lay it down and stitch. And roll and stitch.
Ooh, it's starting to take shape.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Renee, I'm not sure that I understand that question. Your hoop has an odor?
Okay.
The only other thing that you would need to buy in order to finish the pillow, if you're buying the kit, is if you wanted the pillow form. Obviously, you can make your own pillow form. Let me show you the pillows so you can see those. So there is a, if you're doing the square pillow, you would want the 8x8 pillow form. Or if you are making the rectangle one, you would want the rectangle pillow form. And whilst I'm over here, I'm going to go ahead and show you the rectangle pillow. So this is the rectangle pillow, and it has, as you can see, a lot of glitter. It also has these 3D, also has 3D organza little flowers on here.
So I'm laying my last piece of fabric down.
Can you explain the pen one more time when you do it, please?
So, you know what? Let me go grab the...
Terry, thank you for clearing that up. Obviously, I didn't click onto that. You know what? We'll ask Patrick that question and see what his technician point of view is on that.
Okay, so the fabric folding pen, when you purchase the pen, it does come with the bottle of solution. The solution is probably like a Best Press or some sort of like starch solution, right? Sort of. And then so what you do is you put like 3 drops inside of here, and then you fill the rest up with water. And then when you're doing things like this, so I have my stitches right here. I am going to, you can push out a little bit, but it does kind of come out on its own. And you just run that right along your stitch line there, and then when you go to fold and press, it gives it just a really nice crease.
So
like
basically
a really nice...
it softens the fabric fibers in order for that fold, and then you kind of roll that fold in place.
Now the next step is going to do a square around my whole design here, and it is ideal to do this in a color that you can see as well, because this will then become your cut line for this block. Okay, so you do want to do, I would advise you to do something visible that you're going to be able to see to make it easier for your cutting purposes. Okay, and then I'm going to leave the brown on, and I'm just going to stitch out the veins of the leaf. Yes.
Someone said there might be a water fill.
I don't think there is. I don't think so.
No, I don't see one either. And you're going to make a total of 3 of these in different color combinations, right?
So once you've stitched out your veins, you're then done, and you can unhoop. And so then you will have 3 different color combinations of leaves. They're all the same design. It's just the way that you place them to sew them together. Okay, so you will have 3 blocks that look like that. The only one I would be careful about, and I wasn't, so I would be careful about, is this print right here. If you buy the kit, is a directional print, so I would make sure you have them facing all the same direction.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so now we are done with that one. I'm gonna set these aside and we'll do the cutting all at once. So the next thing we're gonna do is we are going to get our 5x7 hoop, and you're gonna get it hooped up with, I'm again gonna do a cutaway no-show mesh, and we are going to bring in our next design, which is
this little bench buddy actually has like several different components to do, right?
Does. Yes, it is a little bit more involved. Okay, so we're gonna bring in the leaves are calling, leaves are falling, autumn is calling, and we're going to press embroidery. I'm gonna get to my set of directions here. Now this one, it recommends that you put some sort of fusible interfacing on the back side of your main fabric. So I have put my favorite Baby Lock Ultra Soft Fusible. As you all know, I have put that on there, okay? So something that I'm going to do, the directions tell you to center your fabric and hoop your fabric. Because I already have my stabilizer hooped and everything, I am just going to add a basting stitch onto this design instead of hooping my fabric. So to do that, I don't know if you want to show them or not. On the Solaris, it's going to be in your layout, and it's going to be the icon that looks like this. If you have any of the machines below the Solaris, the icon is still the same. It might have a pink flower in it, but it looks just like that. And it is going to add a box around our design. So basically, I am tacking my fabric down to my hoop because I have already hooped up my stuff here. So I'm going to lay this down here. And I am going to do that first step, which is going to tack down my fabric to the hoop. This is a really easy stitch to remove It's a really large straight stitch. So we will remove it once we are finished. Okay. And the first thing it's going to stitch out is the leaves are falling, and I am going to just do that in my brown thread. Okay. Gonna take 8 minutes. Okay, do you want to talk about that stuff?
So we have sewn out some samples of some of the new products from Kimberbell. So whilst this is embroidering, we're going to go ahead and show those to you.
Okay, so the brand new one that was just released that we just got into our store is the Heartfelt Friends, and Kate has stitched some of those out. So she did sort of traditionally what they did on their front cover in the gingerbread felt and makes little ornaments out of them. And then she did stitch out the bunny here in the the white color and the larger size. So you can kind of see the difference between the two sizes there. So these are really cute. They also can be done doing different things. So like on the back of theirs here, they have done a like baby mobile or just like a decoration, or you can do them in all the different colors. They do have them
into like
kind
a
of like garland. So they have all their different color felt balls too. These are their newest colors of felt balls, which is the red and the white, which I think are super cute. I like that color combination. And then they have their Sugar Plum Jubilee, which is the colorful ones. And then they have their Winter Wonderland ones. And if you'll notice, the Winter Wonderlands are actually different sizes. So they have different size balls in those ones.
Cute.
Okay. And then she also stitched out some of the stocking samples. So there is one more size. So this is going to be the smallest size, medium, large, and then there is an extra large, but we don't have that one stitched out. But these are really, really cute. You can do them in fabrics and felts, and you can do them in just the fabrics without the embroidery, which I think is pretty cool.
I think we're going to do a live on these too.
Cool. Okay, so we have those as well. Is it anybody asking prices? Do they want prices?
They haven't. The Heartfelt Friends is
$22.99.
Okay.
And the stockings is $34.99. And the balls are $14.99. So they're all the same price for any of the felt balls.
Now I will tell you, the stockings are all completely lined, and they are 100% done in the hoop. So it was, I was like, how are they going to do this? But it was pretty amazing. And the other thing that I will say on the stockings is the toe piece here, when you do the toe applique, it really is designed to use a fabric that does not fray out. So I tried doing one in some like satins that I had. But you will see that it kind of is fraying out here. So I think either the felt or even the Kimberbell leather, but you want something that doesn't fray. For the base fabric, you can do regular fabric, but the applique piece that goes on the toe, you would want to make sure that that's not going to fray out.
Okay. And then they do have their felts too, which is the next piece. We are out of a couple of them, so the antique white and the gingerbread, but they have all of their new felts as well.
Perfect.
Okay, so the last thing that we can talk about is Kimberbell has a couple of things that are retiring, so they are no longer going to carry a couple items. So they have volume 3 of their cinched bags, which these are all done completely in the hoop. They're kind of fun. If you guys took our tea party class, we just made one over the weekend. So that one has a lot of different sayings, and it looks like you can do like note, like gift tags and stuff as well. So that's volume 3. And then volume 4, which is kind of, you like make animal cinch bags, which are really cute, like especially the Easter bunny one. It's a really easy Easter gift. So those 2 are retiring, and they are $29.95, and then plus the discount. And then also their set of small Sweet Feet tubes are retiring. So I don't know why they're deciding to get rid of those ones, but they are.
Huh.
So this is kind of like your last chance to get them if you want them, because they will no longer have them. All right.
I think Kimberbell should never retire a product. I think they should just keep adding to it and adding to it.
Yes. But then you run out of room to put it.
I get that, because we definitely are running out of room to put some of the stuff.
It's almost done with this part. So while this is stitching out as well, I guess we could be getting ready for this
And you
binding.
could cut your pieces up too.
Okay. It is. Okay. So, for the binding, you have your 1 strip of binding, and you are going to fold it in half and press.
So even after we are done with the embroidery here, we're then going to be converting the machine over and hopefully getting this completed for you.
Okay, and then you're gonna have your 2 backing pieces as well, and you are going to take and do your double fold on those. So I'm gonna fold over about a 1/2 inch or so and press, and then I'm going to do another fold and press, and I'm gonna just do that to one side of both backing pieces.
So one side on each of the backing pieces.
Yep.
Woo.
Okay. And we'll set those aside. And then we can get our pieces to cut here. Okay, so for your 3 leaf pieces, we are going to take them and we are going to cut directly on top of that base, that square that it does around the design, which that one's a little bit harder to see.
There you go, that one's
Okay.
perfect.
So before we do that, I am going to change the color of thread before we start it to our orange after it stitches out the period. Oh, and the eye dot.
Are you taking pictures of the ironing board? That's very good.
Okay, so we're gonna put our next color on,
You're doing an orange?
and I'm doing an orange. Making it look exactly like the other
Yeah,
one.
you are.
I should've
You don't
changed-
like to change things up, do you?
I should have put like a red or a green. Okay, so now we can go up to the cutting table and cut these out. Okay, so you're going to just cut directly on those lines.
Can we go over the other Kimberbell that we have scheduled for the rest of the year too? Do you know them off the top of your head?
Yes, well,
Maybe?
I know, yes, I do. So we have the Too Cute to Spook, which actually I left at home, so that's my fault. I'll bring them tomorrow. So Too Cute to Spook, which is a 2-day event, and it's Halloween, right before Halloween. I will bring those samples in tomorrow. And that one is, oh, I don't have my phone. I have to look at the calendar. It is the Tuesday, Wednesday.
It is Tuesday, Wednesday.
So it is October 27th and 28th. And then we have the pumpkin spice, everything nice, is November 7th. And that one is a 1-day event. We have that one coming up. And then we have Merry and Bright, which is December 4th and 5th. And that is a 2-day event. So on the 2-day events, they do 6 projects. And on the 1-day event, you do 3. And the 2-day event is $169. And the 1-day event is $99. And I think that's everything we have through the end of the year for Kimberbell, right?
We've also got Ginger's Kitchen. It's not an
yeah,
event,
yeah.
but it is a 2-part class that we're doing. I'm not sure why Christine is choosing not to use her rotating mat, partly because she's got it all set up for when her block is finished.
Yeah.
And she had her orange pop rulers on there. But you're right, you could.
Yes.
Lynn, I am going to ask Val here in just one moment to see if we have those in stock. And if I do, I will show those to you on camera here.
What am I doing?
Can you go see if we have volume 1 and 2?
Of what?
The cinch bags.
One and 2 of the cinch bags. Okay. Okay. So then you will have your 3 leaf pieces cut out and ready to sew together. And then we just have to wait for our embroidery to get done, and then we'll cut that one.
Perfect.
Did you show them November's?
I did not. So obviously we're going to be doing November's in November, but these are the 2 November bench pillows. And before you ask, no, we do not have kits ready for this, but we will. We will when we do this in November. So we'll probably do it maybe that first week in November. So this is the rectangle one. It's probably one of my favorites.
It is one of my
favorites.
Yeah, this is all, so this is stitching with the Mylar, so you make the pumpkin, and then you also make the little, I don't know, twigs? I don't know what it's called.
They're just
and then
really pretty.
You use the burlap and the twine. And then the square one is actually a really easy pillow, because there's just the pumpkin on there.
Basic
but you
applique.
use all the
Pole
pole
flowers.
flowers, which just make it look really, really cute.
So the orange pop rulers, they come in 2 shapes. There is a square set that is $49.99, or there is the rectangle set, which we're going to be using today, which is $64.99. When is part 3 of mystery number 9? It's either going to be, it'll be one day this week. We actually haven't got that finalized, I'll be honest with you. Will the Kimberbell pillow kits be the same price? All of our Kimberbell bench pillow kits, we just leave at one price. They're $10.99. This one is... I think we've answered. If I haven't answered somebody's question, please let me know. So the flowers come, there's 2 different packs. Obviously the one that you will need for this pillow is this one right here, and they're called pull flowers. And basically what it is, it's a flower. Let's see if you can see. Can you see the thread right here? it basically has the thread already stitched through the edge of the trim, and you just pull on that thread and it pulls up into a flower. Super easy.
Yes. Really cute.
Lisa, which kit are you referring to? Because the classes for the bench pillows, we're basically doing those as a Facebook Live. So it's a free class, obviously. So if that's not what you're asking, if you'd let me know, please. I may be misunderstanding that. Okay, let's see how close we are to getting done.
The machine was slowed down from over the weekend.
Oh, yeah. When we teach the Kimberbell events, we slow the machine down so that we don't get too far ahead of anybody. And obviously, we forgot to put it back. So that is one of the items. I think it's probably the only item that we do not include with the kits. So if any of the kits require a pole flower, that is something that the pole flowers are separate. So the classes for the give thanks and the flower pillow will be alive, yes. Glad to hear that you got back to your sewing machine this morning, Jan. Yeah, I've seen a lot of you making your assumptions on the mystery.
Yeah, I saw that too. I don't even know what the finished one looks like.
You don't know what it looks like this time?
I know this time. Only because Elaine showed me.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't know what it looks like. So for all I know, they're right.
Christine is actually working on that, Charlene. So I will ask her right now, and it'll put a little bit more pressure on her to get that done. A bag for the orange pop rulers.
Yeah, I have it in my bucket.
It's coming soon.
Okay. We got the period and the I. Dot.
So both of the 4 ones that we're doing today, the kits are $10.99 each. Don't worry about questions. That's why we're here. Yes, Christine, they're all on you, Christine. You're going to have to get this done.
All right.
She's working on the orange pop ruler bag. I promise. I've seen it. It's in pieces, but I've seen it.
Okay, so now we are done, and I am going to quickly just convert the machine over so that we're ready to start sewing when we come back. Okay.
All right. I heard the voice.
Yeah, how can you miss it?
Yeah. Are we going to go use an orange pop ruler?
Yes.
Okay.
It's so funny, my computer's just a few seconds behind you guys.
Okay, so I'm gonna remove my basting stitch here really quick, and
Oh, yes, I can. Can you go get Patrick for me, please?
I can. Should I give him a hint why?
No. We'll keep him in the dark.
This is what I was looking for.
Oh, sorry, I kind of buried everything.
These. Let's go see if I can find you. Patrick, Kate would like you. Well, Kate would like to talk to you.
Okay.
Hi. So you do need my help.
Okay, we're going to put you on the spot.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yep.
What can the ladies use if their hoops are sticking and in the embroidery arm? Told you I was going to put you on the spot.
Yeah, I was going to say you can use this silicone to put on top of the hoops that are rubbing. So, but there's a spring in there that we can actually adjust up.
So it's actually more of a technical thing.
It's more of a technical. I mean, if it's not that bad and it's only one hoop, the silicone will really help. But
Okay,
if it's
and where
a
do they put
variety
the
of hoops,
silicone?
They're going to put here. Hold on.
He left us.
Okay, so when you're going to the cutting directions for the orange pop rulers here. So we are using 2 of the rectangle orange pop rulers to get this cut. And the only purpose is you can nest them so that I have a little bit more area to work with, because when I just have this one on here, it could be a little bit harder for me to hold just this one. So I am nesting that in here, and I am just centering it on my block here, and I am going to cut on all 4 sides. And this is why I'm using the rotating cutting mat, because it's going to make it a lot easier to do while I'm cutting. So you're going to run your rotary cutter right along the side, the inside the groove here, and trim and rotate it. And you just go around all 4 sides. Okay, and then you have your block. Now with this one, you want to come in, so you've cut out your block, but now the D, you are going to come in a 1/2 inch from the left side, and you are going to make another cut. So we are going to come in a 1/2 inch.
Lisa, hopefully what Christine just showed you will help relieve some of that frustration for you.
So when you're using the orange pop rulers, the thing that you want to make sure is, one, like even with the QS rotary cutters, like normally you would cut with the blade about this much, but you do need more of a blade, okay? Because you're wanting to make sure that when you're making the cut, you're getting into this groove all the way through. That's where like it's going to work. So you want to make sure you're getting all the way into all those sides so that you can just pick your block up out of the center.
Easier said than done.
It is, and they are kind of tricky. Okay?
Somebody asked if the measurements are on them.
Yes, they are. They're
So
kind of hard to see.
They're kind of
But like they're
like
at
tone on tone.
Yeah, so this one says 6.5 by 8.5. Your finished size is a 6 by 8.
Yep. So
they are on there.
Sizes are printed on them.
Okay. So then what we're going to do is we are going to take and arrange our leaves here. So you have this one facing down, your orange one in the center facing up, and the red one facing that direction. And we are going to stitch these together using a 1/4 inch seam.
So if you do not have orange pop rulers, it does tell you that you need to trim this block down to a 6.5 by 8.5. So if you don't have an orange pop ruler, you are just going to do your usual measurement. If you maybe have a vertical and a horizontal line on your block, then you can measure 3 1/4 from the center and make a trim, and 3 1/4 from this center and over to the left and make a trim. And then if you've got you would really need a vertical and horizontal line on your block. And then you would do 4 1/4 down and 4 1/4 up. So you absolutely can still trim without the orange pop rulers. You're just manually going to have to do that measurement. And then you would still want to do that extra cut that Christine just showed to you on the left-hand side of that block.
So basically you'll have a finished 6 by 8.5.
So your finished square is 6, or rectangle is 6 by 8.5.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Patrick.
All right, so If you want to try it with silicone, and again, the silicone will work really, really well. You just want to get some liquid silicone from like a hardware store or something else, and you just need to rub it on the end where that actually slides into the embroidery unit. So it's just that very top ridge, that's what's actually catching for you, and making it nice and slick like that will help you with that problem.
So, but you're saying that if they are having this issue with more than one hoop, it's probably in the embroidery unit.
The embroidery unit, and you can have again, that we can adjust that spring so it'll be a little bit easier to get those hoops in there. Most of the time we're having trouble on the bigger hoops, but it needs to hold those pretty tight because of all of the area.
Would olive oil work?
No.
No, let's not go there.
It needs to stay onto the hoop. So it needs to be like a silicone, and you don't need a whole lot. You just need to rub a little bit with your finger to make this surface slick.
So it does need to be like a liquid silicone.
Correct.
Okay. Are you able to get me the prices on the QS rotary cutters, please?
I am.
Thank you. Patrick's going to get the prices on the rotary cutters for us.
Okay, so I am just taking and sewing these right sides together. So I have my leaves going the right way. I folded it or laid them right sides together, did my 1/4 inch seam, and I'm flipping. And now I'm going to add my next one on here. So I'm just making sure that it's going to go the right direction, and then flip it right side together and do my 1/4 inch seam.
Absolutely, Beth. So I'm presuming you meant the silicone that goes onto the thread. I'm sorry?
$57.99 for the 45 millimeter.
So the QS rotary cutters, they come in 2 sizes.
$64.99 for the 60.
So it comes in a 45 millimeter cutter, and it comes in a 60 millimeter cutter. The 45 millimeter cutter is $57.99, and the 60 millimeter cutter is $64.99. So they are an expensive rotary cutter, but they are well worth the money. They're a little bit heavier, which is actually, a lot of people think, oh, I wouldn't want it heavy, but it actually puts more weight down onto the blade for cutting, so it means that you are putting less strain on your wrist. And they are very safe. So as far as a rotary cutter goes, they are one of the safest ones out there, because you do have to press the button in for the blade to be released.
Okay, and so then once we have our leaves done, I have pressed my seams, and I just pressed them sort of open. And then
Sort of open?
I am going to lay them right sides together, and I am going to stitch. Now I'm placing this on the left side of my statement block here, right? That's what it's called?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay, so right sides together, down like that, and then I am doing a 1/4 inch seam.
So I know a couple of you have asked about the other cinch bags. I'm actually going to trade places with Patrick here, and I'm going to see if I can get those printed off for you.
All right, stop talking about me. I've got the camera now. And yes, Vicky, we can show the rotary cutter. It's pretty cool. I can even use it. They even let me have it occasionally. The large one will work with the orange pop rulers, yes. And
Yes.
so will the 45 millimeter.
they both do.
Yeah, they both do.
Okay, so you now have a piece that looks like this. I am going to press my seam here real quick. You don't have to follow me.
Please. I like following you like a little
It'll be
puppy.
just fine.
All right, we'll just stare aimlessly into space while Christine goes and does that.
And then we are going to get our, I'm just going to get these ready. We are going to take our backing pieces, and we are going to stitch on that folded edge that we created earlier.
Can I steal everybody?
And I'm going to do that to both of them.
Okay, and I'm going to steal you all and take you over to my computer, because I do have those other cinch bags designs that you were asking about. So volume number 1 was the Halloween. This one is actually already discontinued, so I'm not sure whether we would be able to get that one for you. So that was number 1. Number 3 is, whoops, I'm sorry. Number 3 is this one, which is gift bags. Number 4 is this one, which is the other one that's been retired. Number 2 is also a retired one. And that's it. So that's the 4. So number 1's already been discontinued. 2 and actually they're all listed as retiring, either discontinued or retired. So we can try and get them for you.
That's so sad. They're retiring cinch bags.
It is kind of sad.
Somebody wanted to see the ruler too in action.
The orange pop ruler?
No,
Or the cutter?
The cutter, I'm sorry.
Do you want to demo it or do you want me to demo it?
What, are you nervous?
I'm always nervous when you're around.
So this is the cutter, and again, Kate was mentioning it's super safe because you have to actually touch the a little button here to release the blade. But what I do, because I'm super safe, all you have to do is touch the blade and
Touch the blade.
Oh yeah, no, don't touch the blade. Touch the button, and then
No, don't do that. Don't
Why?
tell them that.
Why?
Because you'll damage the blade.
Oh, is that why the blades we go through them so often?
Yeah. Okay, ladies. So
I always do that. Ladies,
What does he do?
I have a really good
he
system.
pushed the button and tapped on it.
Okay, so all you have to do to cut,
Can't believe you
is-
told me I was wrong on that.
please, so you
In
can
front
push,
of 200 people.
push the button, and then all you do is go
Oh,
to
you don't
make your
tap.
cut. No.
Oh, I see.
And then that, and then when you're done, you just tap back, and then it releases that
I missed the
cover.
tap back. Do the
Okay.
tap back.
So you just push the button. You don't
Show
gotta
off.
pound or do anything. You just
My way is
Pusher.
way
you just
better,
start cutting,
ladies.
and then to close it back up, you just tap back, and then it places it back into the lock position.
Yeah, so please don't be like banging it on the cutting
But the
table.
blades are sold in 3-packs if you go through them really quick. They're really easy to replace.
And so you can do it left or right-handed, which is also really nice.
It is ambidextrous, yes.
Because I do that every day.
Yeah, it's my go-to cutter here.
Because this is a little different. So on this pillow, so here's our front, okay? And because this pillow has binding, you take your backings and you lay them right side down. Place your top on there, and I'm going to pin it in place. So the right side of my fabric is facing out, and you are going to do a basting stitch around this at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance, okay? And then Kate is going to do our binding for us.
Oh, I get to sew.
Because
Patrick does want to
you're
sell
a
more
lot-
blades, having you like bang them on the cutting table like that.
You're a lot faster than me.
Oh, so how much, Vicky? I'm presuming you maybe are talking about the rotary cutters. So the 45 millimeter is $57.99, and the 60 millimeter cutter is $64.99. And on the blade replacements, the 45 millimeter is a single blade or a package of 5. On the 60 millimeters, it is a single pack or a package of 3. So Brenda, I'm going to presume you want a package of 5 on that.
Okay. And so then you have your backing basted to your front so you can put your binding on it.
Perfect.
Do you want to do the binding?
Sure, I can do the binding.
I have orange thread in. I don't know if you want orange thread.
Okay, so Christine and I are going to trade.
You're a lot faster at binding than I am. Ow.
say ow? Sitting down.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Christine worked out today, so she's been hobbling around here like she's my age.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start the binding with about a 6-inch tail at the beginning, and you want to start it about halfway across one side. Personally, I wouldn't recommend starting it top center. I'm going to start it at the bottom.
Charlene, I will go over the rotary cutter again, what Kate has done here, to show you how to close it back up.
We are going to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and we're going to stop at the 1/4 inch edge, pivot and turn, bring the needle up out of the fabric, and we're going to, what you're going to do is you're going to bring the fabric back so that it is sitting parallel with the edge of your quilt. You're going to finger press that angle in there. You're going to bring the binding back down on top of itself. And we're going to do the second side. And you're going to do this to each one of those 4 corners.
Okay, I'm going to show them the cutter real quick. Yes, she does make it look easy. I agree. Okay, so when using the QS rotary cutter, so let's say, oops, we're going to cut here. Okay, so all you have to do is push the button and then start cutting. So as soon as I push that down, it releases the blade, and all I have to do is cut. Okay, when I'm done, do you see how it has pushed this up here? All you have to do is like back tap. I'm not pushing a button, I'm not doing anything. I'm just lightly tapping that, and it'll place that black piece back on to lock the blade. So you just push the button, start cutting, and then release and back, and it closes it up. Okay? What do you need?
Scissors?
They were over there. We have lost them.
We have lost the scissors.
Oh, I lied to you. They're right here. Oh, gosh.
Okay, so I purposely left the join so I could show you how to do the join. So the first thing you're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and cut off my salvage edge. And what we want to do is we want to overlap the binding by the width of the binding. So was this 2 1/4 or 2 1/2, Christine?
I don't know.
So I'm actually just going to use a little piece of this binding so that I can do that measurement. So I'm just going to overlap my binding by whatever the width of your binding is.
Welcome, Vicki. I'm glad you found us. So a couple ways to order. You can either do it on here, but with that being said, if we don't have any of your information, it might be easier for you to call one of our stores. So we do have 3 different locations, and if you aren't local, we can always ship to you, but just to get that first initial order in for you, so we can get your information into our system, you could either email or you can call us or even write us a message on Facebook.
So what I'm doing is I'm creating a seam on the bias to join my 2 edges of my binding. I'm going to cut off my excess fabric. I am going to finger press this seam open. And then I'm going to complete this 1 seam for attaching the binding to the pillow.
Perfect. Okay, so Vicki, like I said, maybe if you want to give one of our stores a call just so we can get your address and everything into our system so that in the future, if you wanted to just place your order over our Facebook Live, we don't have to do that every time. We'll have your information. And then also, Susan, yes, there is kits for this one. So they are $10.99. And you're welcome for the Rotary demo. I'm glad we did that.
Okay, so what we're going to do is, what I've done is I've just pressed my seams out. I have not done being too concerned with my corners, but I'm just going to push them to the back side. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it from this side, and we're going to bring it to the back side, and we're going to hand stitch it in place. Okay? So
why would you do that?
Because it'll look the prettiest.
Nah.
The other thing you could do is you could stitch from the ditch from the front side.
That's what I did.
That's what you did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can do that.
Would you ask if this lady might be on? We don't have any information for her.
I haven't seen it.
No.
I don't know how to say her last name. Turnhouse?
Tenhouse.
Tenhouse?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have a couple items here for a Blair Tenhouse.
We think Tenhouse.
If you are on here, maybe send us a message or give us a call. We are at the Thornton store and our phone number is 303-317-2004.
Okay, so we are just going to
Yeah,
stitch
everyone
in the
says no
ditch.
handwork.
No handwork? I wanted to hand sew this.
You're crazy.
So we're going to stitch in the ditch. It's going to be harder to miter your corners because you're kind of
Oh,
doing it.
because you did it the other way.
Oh, she's wrapping front to back. I wrap back.
Yeah, that's what I
Or
did
the-
too.
Well, and I would do too, but I didn't want the machine stitching on the front side of my pillow.
You know what? You actually probably hand sewed this for me. No. I stitched in the ditch.
That's when you use your 1/4-inch needle seam tape.
To answer the question about using the orange pop rulers in the QS, I don't know that it's super necessary to show the blade a little bit more to use that rotary or to use the ruler. I find that it has helped a little bit to get the blade further in there so that I'm getting all four corners nicely cut. So the pillow that we're doing is one of the Kimberbell Bench Buddy pillows. So it is this 8x8?
It is 8x8.
An 8x8 pillow. A lot of people like to hand stitch.
Yeah, I would prefer to hand stitch this, but I gave to the demands of Christine.
There you go. Some people don't know how to hand stitch the binding, so maybe you could teach us.
Okay,
Okay.
so from the front side and from the back, it looks good from the back too. It's not my personal favorite. I would have preferred a hand stitch there.
Oh, it looks just fine.
And then you've got your opening in there to put your pillow in.
Okay, so here, you take this. I want to show them because I love showing them. So you can put the pillow in it, or if you don't want a tiny little pillow.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're going to make it into a wall hanging just like this.
Some people don't want pillows. So we have the little hangers with the clips.
Somebody asked if you could hot glue that on, Christine.
No, you can't hot glue that. That's not a hot glue item.
That is
do draw
perfect.
lines sometimes.
That is
Hot glue.
perfect for that. Look at
So
that.
Then you can have a wall hanging instead. Okay, so you don't have to make a pillow just because it's what it is. And I think it would be cute.
I think it's perfect.
Okay?
Yep.
All right.
Okay,
We're done.
so What fabric is shiny that Michelle is
Oh.
cutting?
It's that fabric. Because it's wrapped still.
Oh, it's wrapped in plastic.
Yeah, so
it's
it's
not
shiny.
it's not necessarily
I
shiny.
don't think it's new, right? No. It's just
We just got a bunch of Bella Solids in. Yeah. We do have a bunch of new fabric that we're going to be showing you and getting some fabric kits and stuff ready for you. So the hangers are the 8-inch hanger.
yeah.
So, and how much are they? $5.49, I think.
believe, yeah, like
Yes,
$5.49,
they're pretty inexpensive.
Yeah, and you could do that on any of them too. So like even like this one would be really cute as a hanging one.
Yeah.
You don't have to make a pillow.
You don't have to make a pillow. Well, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it. We will be seeing everybody tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.